History didn't forget these people by accident. It buried them. The men and women who shaped the world are not the ones you learned about. A Phoenician princess, a fugitive, a strategist. She fled her homeland, crossed the Mediterranean, and arrived in North Africa with nothing. She asked a local king for land. He said, "You can have as much as an ox hide can cover." She cut it into the thinnest strips possible and circled an entire hill. That hill became Carthage. She didn't build an empire. She built something harder, a city that could outlive her. When a local king tried to force her into marriage, she chose death over surrender. She climbed onto a burning pyre and ended her life on her own terms. Her people turned her into a goddess. Her city lasted 700 years, and like many who come next, history moved on and almost forgot her name. But this is not just about how they lived. It's about how they faced the end. 300 for BC, a prince no one expected to rule. Ashoka built one of the largest empires the ancient world had ever seen, stretching across most of South Asia. He ruled through power, through conquest, through fear, until one battle changed everything. Kalinga to 61 BC. Thousands killed, entire cities destroyed. And for the first time, the emperor stopped. He didn't celebrate victory, he saw the cost. And he made a decision almost no ruler in history has ever made. He walked away from war, he turned to philosophy, to compassion, built hospitals, planted trees, promoted non-violence across his empire. And in the end, he gave everything away. On his final day, he owned almost nothing. His last recorded act was giving away half a fruit. The man who once ruled millions died with almost nothing. And like many who choose peace over power, the world barely remembers his name. 600 BC, Persia was just another kingdom. Then came Cyrus. In 30 years, he built the largest empire the world had ever seen. But what made him different was not how he conquered. It was what he did after. He allowed conquered people to keep their language, their religion, their identity. He freed captives in Babylon. His policies were recorded on a clay cylinder, often described today as an early expression of imperial tolerance. Even in ancient texts, he is remembered not just as a conqueror, but as a liberator. And in the end, he died far from home on a battlefield, killed in a campaign against a rival queen. No empire, no ceremony, just dust. The man who freed nations died alone in a foreign land. 50 to BC, Rome was unstoppable, until one man united tribes that had never stood together before. Vercingetorix, he didn't just fight Rome. He forced Julius Caesar to struggle. He burned his own lands to deny the enemy. For a moment, he made the impossible look real. Then came Alesia, surrounded, starving, no escape. And then, one final act. He rode out alone in full armor, no speech, no plea. He laid his weapons at Caesar's feet. 6 years in captivity, and on his final day, he walked through Rome in chains, head high, no fear, no surrender left to give. Then he was executed, outside his homeland. Few remember his name. For 80 BC, Greece stood on the edge of collapse. The Persian Empire was unstoppable, except for one man with a risky plan, Themistocles. Abandon the city, fight at sea, force a larger army into a smaller battlefield. It worked. The Persian fleet was shattered, and history changed direction. The future of Greek civilization might have looked very different without that decision. And yet, his own people turned on him, he was exiled, ended up in the very empire he defeated, and when asked to betray his homeland, he refused. His final act was taking his own life, a man who saved a civilization, rejected by it. 95 BC Armenia was caught between empires. Then came Tigranes. He didn't just survive between giants. He became one at his peak. Kings walked beside him. Even Rome recognized his power. But when Rome finally came for him, he lost. And this is where most stories end. But not his. He negotiated, adapted, survived, kept his throne, kept his kingdom. And in the end, he died in his bed, old, stable, still king. In a world where most rulers lost everything, he walked away with everything that mattered. 6 leaders, 6 endings. She built a strong nation. 1 gave away everything, 1 died in battle, 1 walked in chains. 1 chose death over betrayal, and 1 survived it all. History remembers the loudest names, but the people who truly shape the world are often the ones it almost erases. That is the story of the forgotten ones. Subscribe to discover more forgotten peoples.